Good day, everybody. Today I'm talking to Nessar Khan, who is the director and co-founder of Kratos Energy Proprietary Limited. Good day, Nessar. How are you?
Fine, thank you, Tony. And you?
Good, thank you. Nessar, thank you for finding time despite your busy schedule to talk to me today.
Pleasure. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And Nessar, can we move on to our first question?
Sure, please go ahead.
Can you please share a little about yourself, Nessar, the place you were born, your education, your passion, the things that you enjoy doing, and one thing that the public might not know about you?
Thanks, Tony. My background, originally I'm from Bangladesh, and I have studied till high school in Bangladesh, and then I moved to Australia to study for my higher education. I did electrical engineering at University of Wollongong nearly 3 decades back, and I also worked here at the BHP, Blue Scope in Hong Kong. And then I moved back to Bangladesh and involved in my family business. My passion, whatever I want to do, I want to give full dedication, with full concentration. I don't want to do anything half-heartedly. So even my involvement with my early days of working, I wanted to learn. And there is no end of learning. Every day we learn. Even at this age, still I'm learning. And you know that I have set up Kratos Energy after all these years, been involved in various positions back home and here and there. And I took it a challenge, So, and I hope that Kratos will be successful one day soon.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you. Thank you so much, Nessar. But that last one point, one thing that we might not know about you or the public might not know about you.
Public, I'm not of course, I've been involved with the Chamber of Commerce actively in Bangladesh. Also, when I was in my early 30s, I was actively involved with an organization called Junior Chamber International, JCI. And in Australia, also JCI is very strong. And I was very, very actively involved. I was the national president for Bangladesh. And later on, I became the global vice president of JCI worldwide, the Federation of Young Leaders and Entrepreneurs. And the headquarters is in St. Louis, Missouri. And I was assigned for Australia, New Zealand, Pacific, and Fiji. And I used to visit to Australia at that time quite frequently. And it was a one-year position. So this is something interesting. So my advice to the young people, who are between the age 18 and 40, especially in their mid-20s till 30s, should seriously consider to join this JCI organization. That is a platform one can develop themselves, one can learn a lot, Because at the university we learn through the books, but in practicality, the networking and all these things and the self-confidence that I have got from the JCI. And
Excellent.
I'm also actively involved with the JCI Illawarra actually now. I'm a mentor. So I have 2 young members around me. So, I don't say that I do the mentoring. I'm also learning from them. It's sharing the ideas, networking, and sharing our views and thoughts and so forth. So this is something I have passion, and I love to mix with the young people, because they have the flesh blood, people like your age, with a lot of enthusiasm and charisma, and who can add values. And, with my knowledge and experience together, if something can be good for the society, it would be great.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you. Thank you so much, Nessar, for sharing that. And I think that point that you mentioned, imparting your knowledge and experience to the younger generation. And I think in your case through JCI, that is a real positive thing. And thank you so much for doing that.
And I think, yes.
And moving on to our next question, Nessar, can you please share about your work experiences before you started your venture, Kratos Energy, and what lessons have you brought forth from your previous work experiences into Kratos?
I shared that briefly that when I finished my education, I joined BHP and then later on moved to Bangladesh, involved in family business almost 14, 15 years. And later on, I got involved in the telecom sector. And then in 2008, I have set up a renewable energy company in Bangladesh. And, in Bangladesh, the greatest challenge was the grid connection, because back at that time, only 50% of the people were enjoying the electricity, and the rest of the people have no electricity and power. So that caught my mind. And then World Bank and other donors come up with a program called Solar Home System Program to power the rural household. So I was actively involved in that program and putting up the off-grid solar system in the rural areas. And when I used to travel to the rural areas, people used to ask me, it would be really good to have a TV or a fan, when they have the lights, they want to have more comfort. But the challenge with the solar power is the low power consumption products. So we have the fan, we have the television, but to support the solar system, there was not many products available in the market at good value. So I took a challenge and did a lot of R&D and research, and have been very, very successful in developed products for TV and fan that is most suitable for off-grid solar system. And we made a tremendous successful business, and our products have been approved by World Bank and UN and other donors, and we got a lot of support, and we have been recognized both locally and internationally. So that one, we moved to Africa and other countries, our knowledge and experience in Bangladesh. And
Excellent.
the idea of Kratos to rebranding the Max, my company in Bangladesh is to Max to Kratos, because the University Innovation Center and with the Electrical Engineering Department, we are doing a lot of R&D and research. So we thought that we shift our headquarters to Wollongong, to iAccelerate, and then we have better opportunity to have more global access and do more robust R&D here, so that we can have more better quality products, that is suitable for that particular market segment. And we are working in that direction.
Excellent, excellent, Nessar. That's very encouraging to know. So I think you identified a few things along that journey. So one was the pain point, especially in the Bangladeshi market, when only 50% of people have access to electricity. So you definitely identified a pain point there, and then combining the renewable source of energy, solar energy, which is basically an a relatively easy setup, I think, today with technology available, in villages and stuff out there, which might not have access to the grid. So that's an excellent idea, and I think your strategy of aligning your business, Kratos, with the University of Wollongong, if there is some research and development happening there, always a good place to iterate and improve your systems as you move ahead. So very good decisions, Nessar, and thank you for sharing that.
Thank you. My pleasure.
And moving on to our next question, Nessar, can you please tell me when did you start Kratos Energy Private Limited, and what was the inspiration behind this entrepreneurial venture? I believe you touched on this answer in the previous question, but if you could elaborate a bit more.
Well, Kratos, I have a business partner in this venture, Raj Acharya. He's my university buddy. We both did electrical engineering, and back then there was only one residential accommodation of the University of Wollongong called International House, and we both used to live there, and that's how we become very, very close. And since then, we are in touch. When I decided that I want to do something and rebrand Max, to globally, then I have talked to my business partner Raj. That Raj, this is my idea. I want to do it, but I alone cannot do it. I need someone who can, be also on my side. And Raj was very happy. Said, "Okay, let's do it and form a company." So in 2016, we set up this company, and then our journey started, and we are moving on.
Excellent, Nessar. And I think that's also, one important thing that you mentioned is finding your core partner or your co-founder for Kratos, and both of you were alumni of UOW, I think specifically the electrical engineering department. And then, over after a few decades, probably rekindling that friendship, and then, deciding to go together into this venture. So that's very encouraging, a foundation that's built on trust and, common aims.
Yeah, because any venture, if you do with a partner, you must have good understanding, trust, and same wavelength. So we know each other for many, many years, and we both have the same educational background and understanding and wavelength. So it clicked better.
Thank you, Nessar. Thank you for sharing that. And Nessar, moving on to our next question. Can you please share about Kratos Energy Proprietary Limited's unique product offerings, that which is a standout for your customers?
Well, right now, we have developed a pay-as-you-go system because, as you know, the products what we are dealing is for the developing countries, and in those developing countries, people has limited income resources. So, if they cannot afford to buy, very expensive products and pay, a lot of money in one go. So we have come up with a product so they can pay by installment. But the installment money collection is a great challenge, because when I was in Bangladesh, I have seen we used to sell products on installment. Physically, our people used to go and collect the money. So there is a huge cost of fund involved in collecting the money, and the risk factor is high. Sometimes people run away with the money when they collect it. Sometimes customers don't pay. So that is from that experience to mitigate those challenges, we have come up with pay-as-you-go system. We are using the technology and IT support and the mobile telephone platform. So customer pay 10% down payment through their mobile, and they get a code, and they punch a device in our system, the code, and then the system will be on. If they do not pay, they will not get the code, and the system will be shut down after 30 days of the code. So their credit period is for 30 days. So in that way, we know exactly which customer is not paid and when they paid, and no need of sending people to collect the money. So we're saving also a lot of overhead cost. So this is the product already we have developed. The prototype has been done. The R&D is going on, and we hope to launch it actually very soon. We plan to do that before, but due to COVID and all these things, it has been deferred. So this is our new latest product we have developed.
I think Nassar, it's a very, very, very interesting concept, because I mean, you are used to, at least we are used to recharging our mobile phones in advance, like for the next month. Especially in places like India, I'm aware that when you have connections, cable TV connections and stuff, these days you have to they give you a card and you recharge it on a monthly basis. And bringing that concept into this model, it's very interesting, and I think it's something that's probably not many people have thought about. So I hope you guys really do well with that unique business proposition that you're bringing into the market with.
Yes, it is. Thank you, because we have the best quality products. We are using the lithium battery. We have the low power consumption television, the fan, and the LED lights. The complete system. A household is needed. So we want to give the best quality products at a very competitive price and affordable price. So we arrange it, and now the challenge is to roll out the product. We have to get this product close to the people who needs it. So then the next step is the marketing and distribution. That is also the development is done. So we have to do the marketing, distribution network, and all these things. How to do it. So we need a channel partner, and we are working on it.
Excellent, Nessar. Thank you for sharing that. And Nessar, moving on to our next question. Could you please share about the highs in your business and for you before COVID-19?
Well, as I said, that if the COVID-19 has slowed down our planet, it's not only us; it's the global issue. Whole world is suffering from it. So, what I feel that 2020 is a year of survival. If we can survive, is good enough. And we can do all the plannings and everything in 2021, and hopefully by then there will be vaccine out. Or if not, even the COVID will come down. On its own. So because in R&D we also require a lot of products support from China and other countries, and to receive those products coming here also a big challenge. We could not do our proper R&D also in timely because we did not receive the products because there was a problem with the air shipment and other issues. So of course, COVID has affected, but as I said, this is a year of survival. So we plan it for 2021.
Excellent, Nessar, and thank you for sharing that. And I think you're right. For many businesses, 2020, because of the challenges that COVID have put forward, it is in many cases, a year to survive or to go lean, and look for better, brighter opportunities in the years ahead as we overcome these challenges. So moving on to our next question, Nessar, I believe you touched on this, but when the pandemic hit Australia and your market, you're focused on the Asian market, what were the steps you took to mitigate its effect on your business?
Well, as we are still on a R&D stage, we have not, done any sales, marketing, or distribution as of yet, to that extent. But of course, the mitigate steps is that we have to, whatever the resources we have, we try to work from there, rather than having very high hopes, and make sure that give us more free time to look back what we developed so far, whether it is right or not, whether any improvement in the protocol need to be required or not. So it is also a back process, and that is, I think, is good. COVID has to make sure, and there were some little faults here and there which we rectified. So if there was no COVID, we would have been moving ahead too fast, and probably we would have overlooked the little problems what we left behind and was moving on. So it's an opportunity too. So COVID is not only a negative impacts, but I think it's an opportunity for us to move forward and plan and better ahead. And it's a caution. So we should take, something like that can happen even in 2021, 2022. We never know. So we should be ambitious, we should be focused, but at the same time, we must have plan and thoughts to safeguard ourselves from a situation like that. It could be a tsunami, it could be anything, from any natural disaster or pandemic.
Thank you.
That's the lesson.
Thank you, Nessar, for sharing that. And that's encouraging to know, to plan ahead and to make sure that you have systems in place, if things go wrong. And moving on to our next question, Nessar. Moving forward, what are your plans for your business?
Well, moving forward, we want to be one of the leading global tech company towards renewable energy, especially for off-grid systems. That is our focus and target. And at the same time, we want to bring innovation in the technology, because technology is changing very, very rapidly. And right now we are focusing on solar, but maybe in the future we may focus on hydrogen or other things. There are many opportunities out there on renewables. So we are looking at those, and we want to work accordingly what the market needs, what the trend is, and what are the opportunities and resources we have.
Thank you, Nessar, for sharing that. And Nessar, moving on to our next question. If you look back to the time from when Kratos Energy commenced operations, what would you have done differently and why?
We established Kratos in 2016, but seriously, we were working on Kratos from 2019, because I was also very busy meanwhile in my company in Bangladesh. So I could not immediately come to Australia and start giving more time with Kratos. So my partner Raj was working alone gradually. So I wish I could have been here more and give him more time. So by now, we've been much more ahead or further. But there is no regret, because, meanwhile, we have also done a lot of homework and research, and, we are also well equipped at the same time. But what is that, our focus and goal is to create employment. And, and sooner we can do that, that will be great satisfaction for us. So if we were, done something and create more employment, that would be really great.
Excellent. Thank you, Nessar, for sharing that. And Nessar, moving on to our last question. What are the life and business lessons that you would like to share with someone who's planning to start a venture, a business, or a service in Australia?
Well, it doesn't matter wherever a business starts, in Australia, Bangladesh, or anywhere in the globe. The formula is the same. Of course, the environment has some impacts, but the basic guidelines and the rules is the same everywhere. Uh, Whoever start the business, he or she uh, must know what they're going to do. Must be focused. They have to not just decide they want to do it, but they have to really, really do their homework. Why they want to do it. And if it is, and the focus should not be only just to make money. There are many ways to make money. So I think there should be a purpose. There should be a value proposition. To do the business. Secondly, in business, finance is a heart of any organization. So how you manage your fund, how you utilize your cash flow in business, that is very, very, that's what I have learned. I did very, very successful business, but as the money flowing in, cash flow flowing in, I wasted a lot of money in different bits and pieces, this and that, and which I should not have, and that's my regret. But that's a big, I learned through the practical way. But I wish I shouldn't have done that. So you have to be very, very careful and particular. You have to make a budget, and you have to follow a budget. Within the budget, you have to make a business cash flow budget, time budget, and all these things. So that is very, very important. Third, any business, the sales and marketing is also the driving force, the key force. So if you cannot sell your products, then whatever development is useless. It's nothing. You got to have the money flowing in, the cash flow. So you have to make a strong marketing plan, networking. How you going to do the sales and marketing? You have to have your lead generation or customer reach, your distribution network, whatever. That is very, very important. So three things. So in a nutshell, one is you must have to have a focus, a purpose, a value proposition of the business you want to do. Secondly, how you manage your finance, how you control budget. Third is sales and marketing. So all are three equally important. So nothing is less and nothing is more. So you have to everything put in place. Like in my cases, my business was excellent, my focus was right, my marketing was excellent, but I had the very bad financial planning and budgeting and all this thing that I did not focus. Of course, I have people who are sharing with me, but I was stretching myself too much, and then at the end I made huge losses too. And so that's a big lesson. So I think we'll have to plan that way. Thank you.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you so much, Nessar, for sharing all those important points. And I think, the three points that you shared, be focused on, your business, your value proposition. What is the unique value proposition you're bringing into the market? And better control of your finances. So very, very important points for any startups to pay attention to. Thank you, Nessar, for sharing your journey, the important life lessons that you've learned through the process. And as Kratos moves into the future, especially in the, you're in a market, the renewable energy market, which is what the world is focused on at the moment. So I wish you the very best with your business venture, Nessar, and hope you and your partner succeed in, with Kratos into the future. So thank you for your time. Wish you all the best.
Thank you, Tony, and my pleasure. And I wish you all the best too. And keep up with the good work, the one you've been doing. And we hope to catch up again.
Excellent. Thank you so much.